All right, multi-step. So multi-step equations, guys, it's really no different than, two-step equations. Pretty much everything can be simplified to a two-step equation. What makes it multi-step is the fact that you might have some parts of the equation that have to be simplified, whether you're using the distributive property, whether you're combining like terms. You just have to simplify it so that you have it in a two-step equation format. So the thing that I tell the kids that's really important that you need to focus on is that concept that when you're solving an equation, you have to focus on what you can do. That's really important. What you can do before you undo. So you'll hear me say that a lot. When we get into these problems, I'm going to say, okay, guys, what can we do? And then what can we undo? When I say what can we do, I'm referencing the fact that I want you to simplify. So remember, before we got into equations, we were just in expressions. And you had these long written expressions that you could simplify it down to something smaller. It was almost like what Bryant had said before. He says, it looks like a pyramid. You have something really long written out, then we shorten it a little, then we shorten it more. You had said that before, that the notes look, you did. Oh, you did. Never mind. Sorry. JD said it. So you could simplify it until it looked almost like it was a pyramid, an inverted pyramid upside down, right? So simplifying, that's what we're doing. You simplify by combining those like terms. We don't want multiple x's. We just want one term of an x. We don't want multiple numbers. We want one term of a coefficient. So simplifying by combining those like terms. Undo is what happens once it's simplified and you've got it set equal to a number. And that's just doing those inverse operations. That's what we've been doing lately. The undo part, inverse operations. So now we're going to combine what we learned at the beginning of the unit with simplifying to what we've been using later in the unit, the inverse operations. Combine both sets together and it makes it a multi-step equation. So let's take a look at a problem. We'll start off with something real simple. 2x plus x is equal to 12. So again, I want to focus first on what I can do. So split it up. Split it up into two separate expressions. We have the left side and we have the right side. When I talk about left side versus right side, where's my wall, my splitting for left and right? Abigail? The equal sign. The equal sign is where that split is happening. Left side is going to be the left side of the equal sign, which is at 2x plus x. And then we've got the right side, which is the 12. So we're focusing on those like they are completely separate expressions and then simplifying them as much as we can. So let's start with that left side, that 2x plus x. Can we simplify that? Yeah. What does that simplify to? 3x. Can I simplify it any further? No. So now let's look at the right side. We've got a 12. Can I simplify a 12? No. So that's as simplified as it's going to get. So now both sides of our equal sign are simplified. I'm going to go ahead and put the equal sign there. And now I go on to the next process, which is to undo. So 3x is equal to 12. How do I undo it? AJ? Very good. So you just divide by 3 on both sides. We divide by 3 on both sides, X will now be isolated, and what will X equal? 4. 12 divided by 3 will give us 4. And then you're done. Let's take a look at another problem. You have a question? Yeah. I'm going to throw a lot of different examples of multi-step at you with any kind of scenario. So you'll probably see whatever it is that you might be thinking, you'll see it. All right, so if we've got negative 18 is equal to 2x minus 3 minus 5x. Again, focus on what you can actually do first. So split it up into the sides. We're going to start with the left side, which is negative 18. Can I simplify negative 18? No. So it's just going to stay negative 18. Then we're going to focus on my right side. So I've got the 2x minus 3 minus 5x. Can I simplify any of this? Yeah. What can I simplify? Raise your hand and let me know. Joel? Very good. That 2x minus 5x, we can actually combine that together. What is 2x minus 5x? Negative 3x. Good. So I'm going to get negative 3x. What do I do with this minus 3 that's right here? Bring it down, right? We don't want to ignore it. We want to go ahead and bring it down into the problem. So I'm going to go ahead and circle that in purple. We're going to bring that right on down as a minus 3. Can I simplify this any further? Why not? Because there's a variable, right? You can't, exactly. You can't combine a variable and a number. You cannot combine that. A lot of people are going to look at this and go, oh, that's negative 6x. But it's not. It's negative 3x and it's a minus 3. You cannot combine those together because they are not like terms. So that is as simplified as it's going to get. So let's go ahead and bring our negative 18 down. And now I can go ahead and put the equal sign and move on to the undo portion. So here's our equation. What do I need to do to undo? JD? Not going to add 18. Remember, we're going to focus on this side. Add 3. So we're going to add 3 to both sides of the equal sign. We're going to add 3 to both sides of that equal sign. That's going to leave us now negative 18 plus 3 is negative 15. Negative 15. And then on the right side, we now have what? Negative 3x. Just negative 3x because that minus 3 is now canceled by that plus 3. Those are gone. What's the next step? What are we going to do now? By negative 3. You got to divide by negative 3. Don't forget to include that negative. We want x to be by itself. The only way that we're going to get rid of anything compared or paired up with it is to get rid of that negative as well. So we're going to divide by negative 3. And what will x equal? Positive 5. Good. So 5 is equal to x, or x is equal to 5. I have an answer. It's wherever the variable is. Okay, so sometimes the variable's on the left, sometimes it's on the right. It's not going to be in the middle. The equal sign's always in the middle. All right, let's go on to page 57. Page 57. That should be page 56 right there. Because that was page 56. Write your I already let people go at the beginning of class, babe. Oh, I didn't tell you to put that in your notebook. I said put it in your agenda. So rip it out and change the number. Just say change the number to 56 on that one page and 57 on the other. It's not a big deal. You can keep it in there if you want, just that's not part of the pages. So 56 was the notes that we just did. That's 56. And the next page is 57. All right. Next problem, we've got negative 6 times the quantity of 2x minus 3. Then close parentheses, and we have a minus 2x equals 10. So negative 6, parentheses, 2x minus 3, close parentheses, minus 2x equals 10. So that's going to be our problem here. So let's go with the process of what we can do. So let's start with the left side. On the left side, we have negative 6, parentheses, 2x, minus 3, close parentheses, minus 2x. That's our left side expression. Can we simplify that expression? What do we have to do first to simplify it, Kingston? Hey, yeah, you could do that. What else? Yeah, you have to do it to the 2x as well, don't you? You have to just, because that's what property is that. You can, okay, so guys, remember, you can multiply a number in a variable, but you can't add a number in a variable. Remember, multiplication is just repetitive addition of the same grouping. That's all it means. So that what that would mean is that you're just adding groups of 2x and 2x and 2x and 2x and 2x over and over again, negative 6 times. Okay? So you can multiply numbers and variables. You just can't add numbers and variables. Okay? So we have to perform that distributive property first. We've got to perform distributive property first. So I'm going to distribute which means I'm going to take that negative 6 and I'm going to multiply it by 2x. And what's negative 6 times 2x? Negative 12x. And then I need to multiply negative 6 times negative 3. Negative 6 times negative 3. What's negative 6 times negative 3? Positive 18. Positive 18. So we now have negative 12x plus 18. So I did my distribution. Do I distribute it to that minus 2x outside of the parentheses? Because it's not in parentheses, it doesn't get it. So what do I do with that negative 2x? Drop it down. Yeah, just bring it right on down to the problem. And now I ask myself, is this simplified? Why not?
You have to add 2x plus negative.
Because you still have like terms. That's right. You still have two sets of variables here that you could combine together. So we can take this negative 12x and combine it with this negative 2x. We can combine those together. So negative 12x minus 2x is going to give me what? Negative 14x. And that plus 18 gets dropped down. That plus 18 just gets dropped down. All right, are we simplified now? Yes. Okay, so now let's go on over to the right side. The right side of the equation was a 10. Can I simplify 10? No. So I drop it all the way down to the problem, and now I can put my equal sign. So here is my equation. I'm now ready to go ahead and undo. I showed you guys how you could do distributive property in 2 steps without having to distribute. But here, you have to distribute because you have something that's not inside the parentheses. Okay? All right. Shh. Let's take a look. We now have our 2-step equation. Kingston, what's the first step to solving this equation? Try again. Yep, subtract 18. So we're going to subtract 18 from both sides. We got to get rid of those constants first. Subtract the 18 from both sides. That's going to leave me with negative 14x is now equal to negative 8. What's the next step that we need to do? Harmon? Divide 8 by 14, the negative 14. So we're dividing both sides by negative 14. Now here's the thing, guys. Is negative 8 divided by negative 14 going to come out to a whole number? No. So you could do a decimal, but doesn't that look like a fraction? Can't we just go ahead and simplify that fraction? So let's do that. If we were to type in negative 8 over negative 14, what would you get as your fractioned answer? 4 over 7. Good. So you would get 4 over 7 as your final answer. If you were to go ahead and just do negative 8 divided by negative 14, you'd get 0.571428571428. It's going to keep repeating and repeating and repeating, okay? All right. Huh? You just type in negative 8, and then for the denominator, hit the negative sign again. All right. Are there any questions on this? Try one on your own. I'm going to give you a simple one to try on your own first. Yeah. Huh? From yesterday? No. Because I don't have all of them graded. Here, actually, you know what? We're going to stop because I do want to get the IXLs out to you. We'll continue tomorrow.